A 22-year-old woman walks into Judge Caprio's courtroom wearing designer sunglasses pushed high on her head, the glossy black frames catching the fluorescent light as if even they demand attention. Her leather jacket, soft Italian hide, looks new enough to still smell faintly of the boutique where it was bought. The price tag could easily cover most people's rent, and the confidence with which she moves says she knows it. There's a faint clack of her heels across the polished floor, each step deliberate, echoing just long enough to make everyone turn toward her. Her chin is lifted, her lips set in that casual, practiced smirk of someone who believes the world exists to orbit her comfort. Her name is Jessica Morgan, 22, daughter of Robert Morgan, the police chief of Providence, Rhode Island. And that title, the chief's daughter, has been her invisible armor her entire life. She's worn it like a crown, a shield, and a sword all at once. She's here today because she assaulted an Uber driver. But Jessica doesn't look like a woman accused of assault. She looks like someone running late to a brunch she doesn't particularly care to attend. When the bailiff calls her case, she steps forward with the subtle impatience of someone who doesn't believe any of this actually applies to her. Her father's influence has protected her since she was a teenager, from parking tickets, from fights at parties, from the kind of trouble that would have ruined anyone else's record. Each time it was fixed with a call, a favor, a quiet warning to the other party that it would be better for everyone to let it go. Jessica grew up watching problems disappear that way. So when Judge Caprio begins reading the charges, assault and battery, use of racial slurs, destruction of property, Jessica interrupts him with a half laugh. "Your Honor, this is ridiculous," she says, voice dripping with mockery. "The driver was being difficult. I barely touched him. This whole thing is blown way out of proportion." The judge pauses. Frank Caprio, now in his 80s, known across the country for his compassion, has seen every kind of person pass through his courtroom. Drunks, addicts, struggling parents, students, immigrants, and the entitled rich. But the tone Jessica uses catches his attention in a way that few things do. It's not fear. It's not arrogance alone. It's certainty. Certainty that her last name will handle this for her. What Jessica doesn't know is that there's dash cam footage. Crystal clear video that shows every second of what happened that night, every slur, every threat, every strike. And what's about to unfold in this courtroom will end her father's career and change her life forever. It's Friday afternoon, 3:15 p.m. Providence Municipal Court is nearly finished for the day. The last of the minor cases, traffic tickets, late fees, noise complaints have come and gone. The clerk is already stacking files to prepare for Monday. Judge Caprio sits at the bench with a tired but patient expression. But when he opens the folder marked Jessica Morgan, he notices something unusual. A note clipped to the front. Defendant is daughter of Police Chief Robert Morgan. Victim requests full prosecution. He looks up from the page. That kind of note doesn't appear often. Most victims, when they find out who someone's related to, prefer to drop it. This one didn't. The bailiff calls, "Chase of Jessica Morgan," and she walks forward, perfectly calm. She doesn't even flinch when people whisper her father's name in the gallery. She just adjusts her sunglasses, slides them off, and sets them on the table as though she's humoring everyone here. "Miss Morgan," Judge Caprio begins evenly, "you're charged with assault and battery against Mr. Kareem Hassan, an Uber driver, on the night of October 8th. You're also charged with racial intimidation and criminal mischief for damage to Mr. Hassan's vehicle. How do you plead?" Jessica crosses her arms, shifting her weight. "Not guilty," she says flatly. "This is completely overblown. The driver was rude. Things got heated. But assault, that's a stretch." Judge Caprio looks down again at the file. His eyes narrow slightly. "Miss Morgan, Mr. Hassan has photographs of his injuries. He filed a police report. He also provided medical documentation. On what basis are you claiming this is overblown?" Jessica rolls her eyes. "Your Honor, I'm 22 years old and weigh maybe 115 pounds. How much damage could I possibly do? The driver is exaggerating to get money out of me." The prosecutor stands. "Your Honor, if I may, we have dash cam footage from Mr. Hassan's vehicle. The entire incident was recorded." For the first time, Jessica's confidence flickers. She blinks, then forces another smirk. "That footage doesn't show everything," she says. "It doesn't show how he was talking to me." "Perhaps we should watch it," Judge Caprio says. "Bailiff, please set up the video." The bailiff moves to the monitor. Jessica reaches into her purse, tapping at her phone. "Miss Morgan," Judge Caprio says quietly, "please put that phone away." "I'm just texting my dad," she replies without looking up. "He needs to know what's happening." "You can contact him after the hearing," Caprio says firmly. "Phone away." Now, Jessica sighs and tosses it into her designer purse, loud enough for the sound to echo. The courtroom dims slightly as the video begins. It's night. The dash cam captures both the road and the inside of the car. Jessica's reflection flashes in the window, her expression sharp and impatient. Her voice is immediately loud and cutting. "I said take Benefit Street, not this way. Are you stupid?" From the driver's seat, Kareem Hassan answers calmly, with a soft accent that suggests English isn't his first language. Mom, Benefit Street is closed for construction. The app is routing us this way. We'll still arrive on time. I don't care about the app. Jessica snaps. I know this city better than you do. You just got here, didn't you? Go where I tell you. Kareem keeps his tone even. Ma'am, I'm following the GPS. We'll be there in 5 minutes. Jessica leans forward. Listen to me, you terrorist. Take Benefit Street or I'm giving you 1 star and reporting you. The air in the courtroom changes. People shift uncomfortably. On the video, Kareem's shoulders tighten, but he remains calm. Ma'am, please don't use that language. I'm just trying to do my job. Your job. Jessica lets out a short, cruel laugh. Your job is to do what I say. You're probably not even legal. Should I call ICE? Oh wait, I can do better than that. My father is Robert Morgan, the chief of police. 1 call from me and you're done in this city. There's an audible gasp from the gallery. Even the court clerk looks away from her paperwork. Judge Caprio's expression darkens, the lines of his face hardening. On the screen, the car pulls to a stop outside a restaurant downtown. Jessica throws the door open, steps out, then suddenly leans back inside. Actually, I changed my mind. Take me somewhere else. Ma'am, the ride is complete, Kareem says quietly. If you need another trip, you'll have to request a new ride. Are you refusing service? That's discrimination. Ma'am, that's not how Uber works. Before he can finish, Jessica lunges forward, snatches Kareem's phone from the dashboard mount, and flings it into the back seat. No, you can't end the ride drive. Ma'am, please return my phone. Make me. Kareem unbuckles his seatbelt, reaches back slowly for his phone. Jessica suddenly screams, "Don't touch me!" Then she strikes him once, twice, a third time open palm to his face. Then she claws at his neck, leaving scratches bright enough to show even in the night vision. You assaulted me, she screams. You terrorist piece of garbage! You attacked me? My father will have you arrested. Kareem leans away, hand over his neck, voice still steady but trembling. I'm calling the police. Call them, she shouts. They work for my dad. Nothing will happen to me, but you'll be deported by Monday. Jessica storms out, slamming the door. Before walking away, she kicks the side mirror, snapping it backward. Send me the bill. Terrorist. Oh wait, you can't afford a lawyer to sue me. The video ends. The courtroom is silent. Judge Caprio removes his glasses slowly and sets them down. Miss Morgan, he says, voice low but sharp as steel. You just watched that footage. Do you maintain your not guilty plea? Jessica's face is pale now, but her jaw tightens. That video doesn't show him provoking me before it started recording. Before he started. She stumbles, realizing the trap she's walked into. He was being hostile, Miss Morgan. Caprio says softly, that video shows you using racial slurs, threatening to have a man deported, assaulting him, and destroying his property. That is not provocation. That is abuse. He was being disrespectful, she mutters. He was being professional while you were being a bigot. Caprio says, the word landing like a hammer. Jessica's eyes widen. You can't call me that. I just did. Caprio replies, his voice still calm. Because that's what the evidence shows. A young woman using racial slurs, threatening violence, and invoking her father's power to intimidate someone. I want my lawyer, she blurts quickly. You're welcome to have one, Caprio says. But this hearing is about your plea. The evidence is clear. How do you plead? For the first time, real fear flashes in Jessica's eyes. If I plead guilty, what happens? That depends on several factors, Caprio says. But whether you plead guilty or go to trial, that video will be seen by a jury. And I promise you, no jury will react kindly to what they just watched. Jessica hesitates, glancing toward the gallery. She sees a few reporters scribbling notes. She sees court staff avoiding her gaze. I need to call my dad, she says. After the hearing, Caprio replies. Now your plea. Fine, she says bitterly. Guilty. Are you happy? This isn't about happiness, Caprio says. It's about accountability. The prosecutor steps forward. Your Honor, the victim, Mr. Hassan, is present. He would like to make a statement. Please, Caprio says. A man rises from the back row. Mid-40s, dark hair streaked with gray, wearing a clean button down and a tie that's slightly frayed at the edge. There's a faint bandage on his neck and a fading bruise on his cheek. He walks to the podium with quiet dignity. My name is Kareem Hassan, he begins, his voice calm, accented, deliberate. I came to America from Syria 7 years ago. I am a legal permanent resident. I have worked hard to build a life here. I drive for Uber to support my family while I study to become a nurse. He looks directly at Jessica, who can't meet his eyes. That night, Miss Morgan called me a terrorist. She threatened to have me deported. She assaulted me. She destroyed my phone. But worse than the pain was the fear. Because her father is the police chief. When she said he would have me arrested, I believed her. I thought about not reporting this, because who would believe me over the chief's daughter? His voice wavers slightly. But my daughter, she's 10 years old. Asked me what happened to my face. I didn't want to lie, so I told her the truth. And she said, Baba, you always tell me to stand up to bullies. You have to stand up to her, so I am here. Not for money, for justice. So my daughter knows that in America, even the daughter of the police chief must follow the law. For a moment, the courtroom is silent. Then softly, people begin to clap. It grows until the bailiff calls for order. Caprio nods toward Kareem. Mr. Hassan, thank you for your courage. You're right. In America, no one is above the law. He turns to Jessica. Her eyes are glossy now, but not from guilt, from humiliation. Miss Morgan, Caprio says, you heard from your victim, a man who came to this country seeking safety, working 2 jobs while pursuing an education, providing for his family. You called him a terrorist, assaulted him, and threatened him with your father's power. Jessica's voice is barely above a whisper. I said I'm sorry. No, Caprio says. You said you're guilty. That's not the same. He takes a breath. For assault and battery. For racial intimidation, another 100,000. For criminal mischief and property damage of 500. Total fines 2,500. Jessica's head jerks up. 2,500 for a few scratches. For assault, bigotry, and abuse of power, Caprio corrects. And I'm not finished. You'll complete 100 hours of community service at the Rhode Island Refugee and Immigrant Center. You will help people like Mr. Hassan navigate their new lives in this country. Maybe then you'll learn that immigrants are not terrorists. They're people. Jessica's mouth falls open. 100 hours. I have a job. I have a life. You should have thought about that before you assaulted someone, Caprio replies. Additionally, 12 weeks of anger management and 12 weeks of diversity training. This is insane, she blurts out, then bites her lip. I mean, Your Honor, this seems excessive for a first offense. A first offense we know about, Caprio says, eyes narrowing. I have a feeling this isn't the first time you've used your father's name to escape consequences. You don't know anything about me, Jessica snaps. I know what I saw in that video, Caprio says, a young woman weaponizing her privilege. That tells me plenty. He pauses, then adds, and one more thing, Miss Morgan. I'm sending a complete transcript of this hearing, along with the dash cam footage, to the Providence Police Commission. They should know that the police chief's daughter is using his name to threaten citizens. Jessica's face drains of color. You can't do that. That'll ruin my father's career. Your actions might ruin your father's career, Caprio says. Not my response to them. You invoked his name, not me? My father didn't do anything wrong, she says, tears finally spilling over. Perhaps not, Caprio answers quietly, but his daughter did, and she did it while claiming his authority. That's for the commission to decide.